Hey y'all, this is L, Thick Madame. I know I look rough, so spare me. I'm tired. Still, in my feelings about my cousin, but just received some amazing news, so I will either share that when I'm done with this video or I will share it tomorrow. Anyway, this is the recap of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Okay, so before I get started on that, I gotta show y'all the shirt I'm wearing today. And this shirt is, it's an ode to a song that some of y'all might have been around, and knew something about the things that was going on in the song. You might know what's going on when you see it. And all it says is, brown sugar babe. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you about this girl, or maybe I shouldn't. I met her in Philly, and her name was Brown Sugar. That's all I'm gonna say on that. But anyway, y'all, okay, I'm trying to stop gushing because I'm trying not to cry. But, oh, y'all, I'm sorry. I'm just so excited. Literally just received an update on my cousin. So yeah, anyway, the review on Love and Marriage Huntsville. So this episode started with Kimmy and Maurice. Everybody is home from Miami where the wedding occurred, and Kimmy comes into the bedroom with an arm full of wedding gifts. So, he was like, "What's that?" And I was just like, Anyway, y'all, one of the gifts that she took out was from Wanda. Wanda is Letitia's mama. Y'all remember Wanda is extra. She do the most. Y'all, I'm sorry. I'm just so tired. I did get a decent amount of rest last night, but I'm still when things happen in my life, I just get drained and I don't sleep, and then I try to catch up and it just never works. So I end up looking glossed over and crazy. So I apologize for that in advance. Anyway, y'all, Wanda gave them a wedding gift. So she pulls out this robe, and Maurice is here for it because he was like, "Oh, okay, that's really for us." So he's thinking what's supposed to happen is she's going to get in the robe and be naked. And, that's the gift. But then she reaches in the bag and she pulls out something else, which is dominatrix-esque. And, y'all, I cannot think of the name of what the outfit would be called. All I know is that it was black. When she put it on, it would be, something that would be skin tight. You know what I'm saying? And she would look like she would run the bedroom, I guess, if she would have put it on. Y'all, Wanda be doing the most. Wanda is extra. Wanda is not around their age. I mean, I know Kimmy's older, but Wanda is a woman of a certain age. And so everybody's just like, she has no chill. She don't care. She just sat up here and set it off and got them a wedding gift that is borderline inappropriate, so to speak. But it's come on now. Y'all gonna use that. Calm down. Y'all doing the most. So, another gift that was given to them was from Melody and Martell. Y'all, Kimmy pulled that gift out the bag. And she looked at that gift like... Apparently, it's like a crystal lovebirds type of thing. I guess that's what it's supposed to be. And Kimmy does not like stuff like that at all. And so Maurice instantly was like, "Oh, yeah, that's cool, man. We're going to put that in." He was talking about where he was going to put it. She was just like, "No, that don't go with the decor. I don't like stuff like that." Lord, y'all, it was just interesting how that gift went. But Kimmy was not here for it. She was just like, "This is so Melody, but it ain't me." So then they end up going to Marceau and Letitia. They're at home. Like I said, everybody that made it home from Miami, they're at home. Literally just got home. Y'all, Marsau told me some, yeah. I mean, she literally like kind of like plopped on the bed and was like happy to be home. You know how you are, how you get like if you've had a vacation and you're finally home. Like there's nothing like home. You know what I'm saying? Got there. I'm sorry, y'all. Excuse me. Got there. She plopped on the bed. Literally had just plopped down and was like, you know how you kind of sink into the bed? You could tell that's what she was doing. Marsau come in the room like, yep, don't even get comfortable. Get on in there and make me something to eat. She was looking like, I ain't making nothing. What is you talking about? I was like, oh my gosh, she hurts my soul. I still can't do it. Y'all, so anyway, they were talking and, you know, like, you know, didn't we enjoy ourselves when we were in Miami? He was like, yeah, everything was great until your mama, you know, entered the picture. And, you know, he basically was like, if we weren't celebrating Kimmy and my brother, I would have walked out. I would have completely walked off from your mama. And so, you know, he was like, you know, you need to basically tell your mama that she need to stop coming for me and trying me and all that. I was just like, oh gosh. So then Kimmy was like, yeah, it's interesting that you're saying all this because I've been meaning to talk to you. Apparently she wants her mother to come and move in and he is just like, no, like you have to be joking. And so she was like, no, I'm not joking. Like she was dead, like she didn't laugh at all, like she was dead serious. And she was like, you know, I'm trying to work. You know, my mama is the main person that helps out with the kids. So, you know, if she's the one who's mainly helping, it'll be better if she would just move in with us. And so we're going to have to deal with any, you know, issues. So, you know, he ain't here for this at all. I was like, Lord, this is going to be a recipe for disaster. I don't know. I don't know if this is going to work out, especially if she actually ends up moving in. I can just see arguments all day. So then finally they end up showing Melody. I don't know where Martell is at this moment, but they show Melody at home and apparently it's kind of like when they first got there. Maybe a few days after, I have no idea. But at this point, she is seeing her mother off because her mother came to her home where the kids are comfortable, I guess. You know, all their stuff is there. You ain't got to worry about packing bags for them and then take them over to her house. And so she watched them while they were in Miami. So, you know, came down the steps and, you know, decided to sit down at the table, was talking to her mama, and was like, you know, I just want to thank you for watching the kids while we were gone. And she was like, you know, no problem, you know, that's not a problem, that's not an issue, none of that. So then she starts talking about, starts talking about her issues with Martell. And how she doesn't feel appreciated and she feels like the things that, the only thing that's really keeping her there now is the memories that she had back in the day when they first got together. And she just feels like he doesn't appreciate her. And then when she was in her little confessional, she was saying that she feels as though the values and the way that he was brought up and the things that he saw men do back in the day, he feels as though that's the right way to treat a woman, and it's not. I mean, I don't know. I was just like, wow, that's kind of messed up. So, you know, her mother was like, you know, I would never tell you what to do in your marriage or what you should do. I would never tell you you need to leave your husband or you need to stay with your husband. That's something that you and or y'all are going to have to figure out. And so, you know, her mama eventually asked her, what did his mama say? And she was like, you know, she basically said all the same things that she said, and that all these men be out here cheating and doing the most. And then apparently her mother, well, both of the mothers have some type of rapport because she knew that she'd gone through that. So she was like, well, you know, she'd been through that before. And she was like, yeah. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Does she know, you know, her like that? Because there's some people won't say, hey, bye, past the reception, if that. It's just like, yeah, that woman is the mother-in-law to my child, and that's about it. They act all stank for some unknown reason. Like, you are the person who gave birth to the person who is taking my child away from me. That's kind of the vibe I get from some people when they act shady like that. But I don't know. I don't know what that's about. But yeah, Melody's in her feelings. She says she don't feel like they're on the same page anymore. Like everything she's saying, it just seems like she's about to call it quits. And it's just like, wow, it's unfortunate. Y'all, so Letitia, she just sat up here and went on a job interview to some brokerage firm. And, she hasn't been out there in a while, but, she seemed to do pretty well, in my opinion. And, it got to a point within their conversation during the interview where the person who was interviewing her asked would she be able to rearrange her schedule, because she did mention that she had kids and her husband travels a lot and all that, and that she's mainly around the kids, the only one that's really there as far as parenting is concerned. And so she was like, yeah, I'll be able to do that, whatever. And so, like I said, it seemed like it was promising. So I was like, oh, y'all doing the most. She's really doing a lot, and y'all know her husband ain't here for that, so I don't know how that's gonna go. So Kimmy and Melody meet up and go out for dinner. So Kimmy was like, we had such a good time. The last time we talked, and we're trying to get our friendship back on the road where it was going, having to go in the right direction. So, I'm just trying to continue on with that. So then Kimmy, asked her, did she have a good time? She was like, oh yeah, the wedding was amazing. Everything was great. Everybody looked good. And then, Kimmy, you know how Kimmy is. Kimmy sees everything. She's supposed to be enjoying her special day. And she noticed when they, dipped off. So she was like, I thought I noticed that y'all, went off, from everybody. And so she was like, yeah, me and Martell went and we were discussing the infidelities. And so, it got to a point where she started actually specifying certain amounts of time, certain things happened. And, you know what I'm saying? She was like, yeah, I caught him calling her 4 times within a year and a half. And, Kimmy was just like, well, how many times is too many? And so she was like, how many chances do you get? She was like, there are no more chances and all this other stuff. Y'all, Kimmy is not here for none of that. She was like, Maurice know me, because if he was to try any of this, he already know not to even try that with me. I was just like, oh gosh, Kimmy is setting it all. Don't nobody have time. You know what I'm saying? And so, Melody is, kind of in her feelings, and, she was like, look, all I know is you weren't there for me when I was going through it, when it really was going on, and now this is after the fact. And so Kimmy was like, well, I did try to be there for you, because I did text you and I asked you, how are you doing? I hope everything is going okay. And so, Melody was basically like, a text message ain't nothing. And for that type of situation, you should have called. I do agree with her on that. And so she was like, I really didn't think that much into it, because I see you as the strong woman. And so she was saying what a lot of people say, especially nowadays, that if you are strong, people view you as strong and they don't want to check up on you. But those are the main people that you do need to check on. That's very, very true. So I give her that. And so, she was like, well, I'm sorry for that. So are you good today? How are you now? So she was like, yeah, I'm good today. And so, she was like, well, that's good. Y'all, so they eventually go to the next scene where they are showing Melody and Martell. They get on the phone to talk to a lender. And, of course, because of the big projects that they're trying to do, they're going to need to be able to see what they need to do to pool in some money. So they're on the phone with the lender, and he was like, the numbers aren't adding up. And so Melody and Martell are confused, and Melody is the one who's spearheading the whole conversation. And, he was like, well, we only have Melody, Martell, Kimmy, and Letitia's name on the application, and their businesses, the names of the specific businesses. And so, they're like, wait, what you mean? It's supposed to be 6 names on here. And so he was like, the financial, side of it is not adding up. So they wouldn't, of course, if you don't have enough, going into it, nobody's going to try to look at you. You ain't got nothing but a nickel to your name, and you asking to borrow $5 million. Like, No, that's the way that they were looking at it. So then they get off the phone with him, and not long after that, the architect and the project manager come in, and it ended up having to be a different conversation because, they just got off the phone with them, and they were going to have to, possibly do away with the contractors because these people, they need money. They are trying to make money out here, and nobody has time to be like, okay, I don't know for sure if I'm going to be able to, give you some money for this work, but I just want you to just hang on for me forever and don't go out and get no other jobs. And like right now, a whole lot is going on construction wise in Huntsville. Ain't nobody got time for that. So them people would probably look at them like, yeah, if you ain't talking to me and talking some money within the next few days, I ain't got time for it. So the architect did say that she would call around to the contractors that they have set aside for the project that they're trying to work on with those houses to see if they could stall them, just to have them hold off for a week while they see what can happen when they meet up with the comeback group. Melody says she wants to meet up with the comeback group to see, what's going on, what their side of the story is going to be about, because from what they discussed, so, per what she's saying, all 6 names are supposed to be on this application, and it's not. Y'all, so she ended up calling everybody. They came to the meeting, and, Melody was like straight up, what's going on? We got off the phone with the lender. He said it ain't going down. Only names on here are these people's names. What's the problem? So Maurice was like, look, I can speak on my part in this. The business that is on there is, the business that he was basically saying that the debt that would be, that would come about from the loan, it would be 100% his responsibility. So whatever company name Kimmy put on the application with her name attached to it, it was the business that he, works at and for or whatever. So then Marsal told his part as to why his name isn't on there, and he was like, look, he really was like, I really don't trust it like that. But what we all agreed to were these 3 entities, and for some reason he explained it like his wife's name was on there because the company that they all agreed would be on there as far as their part as a couple in the comeback group. It's a company that she owns 85% of. I don't know how this happened, y'all, because she don't work. I don't know what company this is. But anyway, it's 85% of a company, and I'm guessing it's something that she's gonna do this off the ground because of what Melody said. It seems like it ain't doing nothing. So it's like, oh, okay. Y'all, so anyway, I don't know. But he was like, it wouldn't make sense because they kept saying, well, why can't you just put your name on that? I don't understand. And so he was like, that's like me coming to you, Martell, or whichever Holt he was talking to. He was like, I'm coming to a person who has a car and it's their car. And it's like me saying, oh, well, I'm going to take over this. I'm gonna add my name to it too when you are the one who basically owns it. So it was crazy, y'all. It got out of hand. The whole meeting got out of hand. The most was happening. But nobody here for nothing. It got so bad, y'all. They ended up saying, look, we're just gonna take a vote. So who wants the comeback group to just disband and dissolve or whatever? Melody was the only one raising her hand. So then she asked who all wants the comeback group to still try to, come back. And everybody but her husband raised their hand. And so she was like, okay, we got one person that's undecided. And so she's going to try to tell him, speak now forever hold your peace. And so he was like, I'm on the fence about it right now. I ain't got nothing to say about it, whatever. Y'all, it was just too much. But within that same meeting, they were just like, look, the things that are being said, the way it's being said, as far as how the fiscal part of it goes, it just seems like it'll be better off if I was about to say the host, but it's more than one set of hosts. It would be best if Melody and Martell just take it over and pay the appraisal fee and all that so they can get the ball rolling and just do whatever they're going to do. So everybody was just like, no. See, this is what happened the last time. Y'all sitting up here setting it off. Y'all doing the least. And this is why the group broke up the last time. So it just seems like, and then Kimmy, you know, Kimmy was not here for it from the beginning anyway. And so she was like, this is just the same exact thing that happened last time. The same situation, the same people, the same result. I don't see the point. I was just like, Lord, this is too much. So anyway, eventually got to the point where Melody walked out. Then Letitia walked out. And wasn't nobody, it was just bad. I was just like, Lord, this don't make no sense. Y'all, so anyway, Martell is on the way to a flag football game that he was going to play in with some friends. And he brought his son, Martell Jr., along. So before he even get out of the vehicle, Melody done called him and is setting it all the way off and going off about the meeting. And she was like, you were supposed to have my back, you my husband, and looking like you against me. And all this other stuff. I'm talking about going all the way off. And she was just like, I don't understand, but because before we went in the meeting, you were dead set against working with them, and now you're trying to act like you want to work with them. I don't understand. And so apparently it has been a few days since the meeting. And so he was like, you know, I didn't know all of what was going on until I got in the meeting. I had my mind set one way, but then I was willing to hear them out to see what really was going on. And now, you know, he basically was like, you know, I see what they meant, but he didn't really want to say that because he don't want to go against his wife. They're already going through it. The most is already happening. So she get in her feelings eventually and hang up in his face. Y'all, so anyway, he ends up going out there. He's playing flag football. He ended up getting hurt. He said somebody stepped on his foot or something, and then he feel like he done tore up his Achilles tendon, y'all. So since he feel like he didn't hurt himself, or he actually has hurt himself, y'all, eventually he's going to have surgery. Like, he really did hurt himself. Melody had to come out there and pick up their son because I guess, you know, whatever, because he's hurt. But anyway, so she's talking to him, and so she was like, I know you didn't hurt yourself, for real. And so he was like, yeah. So she was like, who gonna take care of you? And so he was like, you are. That's what I'm married for. So, you know, of course, y'all know she took that all the way wrong and messed up, and, you know, because of all the infidelity that happened. And so she was looking like, I don't understand. You know, you had a side chick, and it seemed like she ain't, you know, gonna be living up to the duties that you thought she was gonna live up to. Y'all, anyway, when she finally left, and it got to the point where he was, you know, about to leave, and everybody was asking him, you know, is he good to drive? He was like, yeah, it happened to my left foot. I'm good. Y'all, he said something about he got to go find his second phone. Marsau looking like, what? Y'all, I be dying whenever I see Marsau acting like he is so, like, he's just so appalled. Like, it's just a look. He was looking like the gall. The medicated gall. The audacity. He really be looking like that, y'all. I be so tired. But I really do feel like he might be cheating. I feel like he be cheating. I just can't wait for some stuff to come out. Because the way he act, he just has this, I do what I want. I'm the man. You can't check me. You don't run nothing over here. I can do anything I want to do. I am married to you. That's all you need to be worried about, is that you have my last name. I don't know what it is, but I feel like something going to come out one day. I don't know when, but I'm going to say I told y'all so if it come out. Y'all, so anyway, he was looking like 2 phones. He was like, what you doing with 2 phones? And so he was like, we all have a business phone. He was like, yeah, but we ain't at work, so ain't no reason for you to have your business phone. Y'all, it was just too much. Like, he really was hobbling around the field looking for this so-called second phone that's just his business phone, y'all. The way he said it just seemed like, oh, no, I got to call my side piece and let her know what happened. Like, he just was just too into getting to that phone for me. I ain't got time. It was just too much, y'all. So anyway, that was the end of the episode. It made me a little bit tired in my spirit. It was just too much. Anyway, I hope y'all are having a wonderful day, and I will talk to y'all and come back to y'all with another review and that update that I told you about. Have a good one. Bye.